I'm back. Assalamualaikum, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first installment of Story Time with Adam, or I don't know, Alan Yaps. The happening. It's a working title. Don't really give too much effort into it. So I just came back from China. It's been like a crazy 7 days. First day, which is the 2nd of September, when I was going there, I was checking my Asia app, right, which is for you guys that isn't from Asia and doesn't know what that is. Basically, I was checking my flight app, airplane app, to check for my tickets to different airports over here in Malaysia. There are KLIA, which is the main airport, and KLIA 2, which is the second airport, and the one that is right, terminal. And so I was guessing that I was going to Terminal 1. Got it! And when I was arriving there, I don't see my flight number anywhere. So let's chill with my buddies while I wait for my flight to come in, and then it wasn't there. So I was asking around the staff after 30 minutes, and then they said, "Oh, sir, you went to the wrong terminal." Shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Ran down immediately from 5th floor to the first floor to catch the shuttle bus, so we can go to Terminal 2 in time, in which we did. And we grabbed lunch. However, apparently the boarding time in your boarding pass, it means the time that the gate is closing. I thought it means the time that the gate is supposed to be open. So I'm pretty sure it was like 40 minutes before, and then we arrived there 40 minutes before. After lunch, we saw that it was dark. We were panicking, we were rushing. Nemo is nothing against me if you see what we were doing. There was like before China, okay? And then here comes the good part. After we arrived in China, I was trying to check into our Airbnb. We are not allowed to use Airbnb in China, so I use something called C-Trip. There are rules and regulations across China that restrict like houses and who can live in them and what type of guests they can have. So I was making sure that I was not like breaking any rules, right? Because China is a really strict country. And I was texting all the house owner like, "Yo, bro, I'm from Malaysia. I can speak Chinese. Can I enter your villa? Or, like, can I rent your Airbnb for a couple of days with my buddies for a China trip?" And then a lot of them said no. A couple said yes. And this one, more specifically, said yes. Oh, 2 a.m. And then like an old ass uncle was there. Trying to help us check in. And then he was checking our passport and everything. Okay, things are going well, right? And then he tried to bring us into our Airbnb, and the security guard stopped us in our tracks and then asked us to fill in some information, right? Please write down and register your name, phone number, etc., etc. And when we see one item pop up, which is identification card number, and then we ask the house owner, "Do we put our passport or what?" And then the guard was acting up, was like, "Huh? What do you mean passport? Where are you guys from?" And I'm like, "I'm from Malaysia. Why?" And they're like, No. We don't allow like foreigners around here." I'm like, "Fuck you mean you don't allow foreigners?" And then the house owner and then the guard was getting into it. They were like arguing like fucking, I don't know. They were just going into it and going ham with each other, and it was like low-key kind of entertaining at first. And then after an hour, it started to get annoying because it's already 3 a.m. and I really need some sleep for my fucking vacation. And then I just told the guy, "Bro, give us a fucking refund. We can just go to an hotel or something." And then he keep on refusing. He's like, "No, don't worry. I already called this person or like this like institution. They pick up." And I'm like, "Okay, what would the fuck you say, bro?" And then at 4 a.m., that motherfucker finally gave us our money back, and then we can go to a hotel. And fuck him, man. Oh, dirty. And then we went to the nearest hotel, and which we found on, I think, A map. It's like Chinese Google Maps. And then we went there, and then for fuck's sake, when we arrived there, we were like, "Why is the light not on?" And then they put a sign over in the main gate. "Sorry, we are not open. We are renovated." Then after that, we found another hotel nearby, and finally got to settle ourselves in at like fucking 5 a.m. And then everybody finally got some sort of sleep. Your phone ringing. And then we woke up at like 8:30 for our trip. I remember it was hot as fuck in Chongqing. We went to Chongqing, by the way, and Chengdu in China. If you guys don't know, Chongqing is like the spicy capital, I guess, and then Chengdu is like the gay capital.
Yeah, boy.
For our first day, technically second, it was hot as fuck, and I was not having enough sleep. And I remember I was walking around, and suddenly I was getting like a sensation in my nose, and I was bleeding out my nose. Like it was fucking crazy. Was wearing like a pink shirt, and then I got all over here, bro. It was fucking crazy. And then I almost lost my bag because after our first meal, which we had in the noodle shop, I left it there and I forgot to take it. I went back there immediately. Thank God. They were like so kind, and then saw it there and then told me like, "Oh, is this yours?" And I'm like, "Yes, yes, thank you so much." 谢谢你, fine shit. That's it for my side. And then afterwards, when just before we were wrapping up, like our day of shopping, one of my friend was using a DD, and then he forgot his like shopping. I guess, yeah, he forgot his shopping bag in the car, and then yeah, like a free shirt for the guy, I guess. Then there comes Friday. Thank God it's Friday. I wanted to go to club in China because I'm young. I want to have fun. I want to go to club around the world, and I already reached out to some ambassador and like some clubs like bouncer like, oh, can I get in? Blah blah blah. I'm from Malaysia. Blah blah. A lot of them told me yeah. When I was in Taiwan last year, I was asking around and they said yeah, you can come in. Just bring your passport. It's free and everything. If you want to drink, then it will be like either do a bill separately and whatever. All you need to do is show your invitation from the ambassador, and which is what I did, and what I tried to ask the Chinese bouncer for, and they said, oh, no need, no need, you can just come in and show your passport and we can let you in. And then one of them said, oh, I'm gonna lead you the way so they don't go the wrong way. And then when we came,
Oh, girl.
and then we came in, and then it's just like, oh, you need to spend like minimum like 780 RMB, which is like, I don't know, 500 ringgit, which is like, I don't know, like 150 to 200 bucks, dollars. And then I'm like, what you mean I need to spend? And then like, yeah, what do you mean you don't need to spend? If you're not spending money, then what you coming out here for? And I'm like, but you told me I don't need to spend money to go in. And then she's like, yeah, you don't need to spend money to queue up, but you still need to spend money to come in. I'm like, bitch, what the fuck are you even saying? So I left immediately. And then around all the places are like a block full of like bars and clubs. All the Chinese bouncers were trying to get some business, right? So they were disturbing me and my friend. Yeah, so fucking annoying. They're like the ex that you don't want nothing to do with anymore, and she's still like fucking hitting you up every single fucking day. I remember there was this other guy, like an old uncle, chatting us up, and then like, yo, bro, you want to check our KTV out, which is like karaoke. You want to check our karaoke service out, blah blah blah. We do this, we do that. You can drink, you can call a couple girls over and whatever. And then the guy was showing us like, I don't know, amateur porn or something on his phone. They was just like, what the fuck, bro? Number one, and number two, if you guys don't know, prostitution is like totally fucking illegal in China. Nah, bro, what the fuck? If I reported his ass, he would be so fucked. After all the Chengdu, actually Chengdu was actually so much better. It was not as hot. It got better food, but the night view is not that beautiful compared to Chongqing. I mean Chengdu. Chengdu is like a really, how to say, ancient city, I guess. There was a lot of traditional architecture, like reminding of like medieval time in China and ancient China. Meanwhile, Chongqing is more like a cyberpunk city. So you can see like skyscrapers, LED lights, even a drone show, which we kind of miss. For that part, the only bad thing that happened was on last day when we tried to check into our flight, which was 11:55 p.m. in 10th of September, and then that bitch ass motherfucking flight airline, AirAsia, fuck your ass. It's like, oh nah, I'm not gonna let you get in on time. They delay our flight to like 2:40, and they send us the email at 12. Bro, what the fuck, bro? And then we need to immediately check in again to our hotel after checking out, and then tell them the situation so that we won't get into trouble and they can leave us a room for us. And then thank God they did. Shout out to Saida Julian. And then yeah, that's pretty much it for the whole video. This is the first installment of Story Time with Adam, or it's a working title. Comment down below what title do you want this series to be. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. And my final thoughts on my trip in China is a really beautiful country, but there's so many people in this country, and the whole culture and system itself is kind of fucked up because of the whole population and competition inside the country. So it's bound to make foreigners feel uncomfortable because we are not used to whatever their culture is, whatever their system is. Like uh, people be coming out to you to get sales. It's really annoying as a consumer. But if you were like a Chinese born in China, you understand because it's really expensive to be living in like large city. But this like the only city that you can make a lot of money in, and the only way to make money is by getting more sales, like normal economics logic, you know what I mean? And that's all I can say. China is a beautiful country. There's a lot of good people in the country, but there's also a lot of bad people in the country. So as human beings, if we were to go there, we should be more open and understanding and forgiving. If somebody is messing with you, just tell them to fuck off. And if you don't speak a lick of Chinese, do not go to China. You're gonna be so fucked. I'm kind of whitewashed. My Chinese is not that good, and I almost got scammed a couple of times, as you can see from my story time video. From this story time video, as you can see from this story time video, and my friends who are better Chinese than me, quite fluent actually. I brought them over and they helped me out a lot. So I really gotta appreciate them for that. Shout out to them, and that's it. Bye bye.